I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 160. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. Also, we are now part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. Check out all the fine podcasts featured on there if you're looking for more gaming goodness. And in our final bit of news, our April giveaway has ended. Congratulations to our winner, That Ender Guy, on Twitter. We will be following up to get that prize over to you. Thanks again for everyone who entered, and stay tuned for our next giveaway in May. I'm your host, Dave Rotino. This is my co-host, Dan. I have almost defeated my sickness, Robinson.
What's going on, man? I sound better. I feel better. I'm like 85% better.
It's really good to hear. Really good to hear. You've almost 100% completed your cough.
I've almost 100% completed the pox packs.
I just hope there's no DLC.
Oh my God, no DLC.
Right? You don't want to get a fever. Like, got that extra fever DLC. It's like, no, I'm done.
But it was riddled with microtransactions.
Oh no! You're talking about doctor's visits.
Yeah, they go to CVS and buy medicine.
Oh no! Right? Yeah. You want to beat that cough? Well, $10 microtransaction. There you go.
EA must have orchestrated the PAX Pox.
Seriously. So yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I have orchestrated yet another big pickup. It is not in my hands yet.
Secret. Even I don't know this. Wow.
No.
He came out of the gate with that. All right.
I will tell you now that I may or may not own a PS3 Slim. Right?
Okay.
I've never had a PS3 ever. I skipped over that. I went from PS2 to PS4. I was the Xbox 360 guy, and then the Xbox One guy, and then the PS4. I never had the PS3. I don't know if it works. Somebody else found it in the wild. I said, yeah, pick it up. The price is right. I'll pay you back for it. So I'm going to get it home. It has all the cables and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and get it home and, flip that puppy on and throw a game in there and cross my fingers. Hopefully it works. So I think by this time next week, Dan, I'm gonna have a big pickup, a nice big pickup haul. So,
I may or may not own Little Samson.
I can tell you that you do not own Little Samson. I know that for a fact. You may not. You do not own Little Samson. Because that would be the top of the show, as we always try to start the show. No. We are starting the show now. Here's what I've been playing, Little Samson, and here's my pickups, Little Samson.
Maybe I own Little Samson. Maybe I don't.
My God, think about that. Think about if you had the opportunity to come across a Little Samson out in the wild, to buy a legit Little Samson copy, right? And the price was right. It wasn't like a couple $1,000s. It was like a couple $100s, right?
Let me ask you a question right now. Little Samson is like 5,000, right?
5,000. Okay.
It's like 5,000, I think. I think around there, hovers around. Maybe it went down a little bit. But
right now? Okay.
So.
For the sake of this argument, it's going for.
For the sake of the argument, yeah. I forgot. I haven't looked at Little Samson prices. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot less than that, but okay, I'm with you.
Right now, if you saw somebody selling a Little Samson, right? inbox. Box probably is ripped. You know, I'm gonna make it more realistic.
Box has some normal wear and tear to it. Damage
has some normal wear. It's not in pristine condition.
It's in fair to very good condition. Maybe
you know what? It's in okay condition, but it does have a tear in the back of the box. Okay, you know, $700 right now. Would you buy it?
That's a hard pause.
But at least you're thinking about it. It wasn't a no.
Well, it wasn't a no, but
you weigh the pros and cons.
But okay, so like 5,000 to 700, you look at that divide, right? No matter like what it is, you figure like, wow, it's a really good buy, right? I could respin it for $5,000, but I don't think the divide is that big for that game. And if it was at $5,000, I feel like that would be a very, very, very small bubble that was about to pop. Or a very big bubble that was about to pop, maybe. I think that's the better analogy.
So I'm on eBay right now. Okay, I'm just doing a quick look. I'm not doing any extensive research.
I'm just putting it in my cart right now. I'm just making a purchase.
No. I'm just taking a look. I
How much are we
I don't know if these are repros or anything. Okay. I would have to do some.
Oh, you got to investigate the sale price.
Yes. But they look all right. So they have complete. Little Samson complete is in the 5,000 to 3,000 range. Little Samson on its own
cart by itself
is 1,500.
1,500. Wow.
1,500.
All right, then maybe, because that's like a really big divide, right? And you have to speculate on whether that price is going to hold or not, right? That's the really what it comes down to when you're spending that amount of money, right? Because you're speculating on the future, right? Sure.
It looks like it's between 3,000 to 5,000, depending on how complete it is. It looks like styrofoam and the condition. So it's not only complete, it's condition and where it's from, because you can get complete from Mexico. And I'm just going off a quick eBay glance.
Yeah.
Complete Mexico, 2,200. Complete Canada, 3,500. Complete US, 5,400.
All right. Well, how about you? What would you do in that situation? I mean, you proposed the question. I'm sure you have an answer.
I would say, let's just say it has a big rip in the back, right? So I got to make it why they want to get rid of it. There's a huge rip in the back. It has everything in it. Maybe missing a styrofoam. Maybe
you said it had a rip. Now it has a huge rip, but okay.
It has a huge rip.
Okay.
I'd try to haggle them down to like 600.
Okay. So you do it. You would do it. You would just want to get a better price.
I would do it for 600.
You do it for 600. There you go.
Obviously, I got to see the screws. I got to see the motherboard.
Well, we assume it's legit. We assume it's legit.
Legit heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Wow. There you go.
I'll give it a good home. And I will not repo the box. The box will be ripped forever in the plastic case.
So, yeah. So as of this recording, I believe it's either the last day or it's over now. But we had Star Wars Celebration, right?
As of this recording, I think this is the last day.
Right. We had
3 days. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
We had some big news shake out of this.
We have some big news, and we'll talk about the video game news side of it later on in the show. Mm-hmm. But let's just start it off. A trailer for episode 9 was revealed, and the subtitle name for episode 9 was revealed: The Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
I have more questions than I did before the trailer.
Sure.
What does this mean?
Sure. It's kind of real interesting. To me, it means two things, unless I'm missing something that's like fairly obvious. It's either does Ben Solo turn good, right? Because he eschewed his Skywalker name in favor of Kylo Ren, right? He eschewed his light side upbringing and went to the dark side, right? He's going against all his family's wishes and whatnot, right? So the one thing is, does Ben Solo rise up, right? He's got Skywalker blood, right? Because Luke's sister is Leia, right? So he's got some Skywalker blood in him, right? Obviously, he's got the power of the Force innate inside of him. Or does Rey turn out to be related to the family, and she's a Skywalker?
Ooh, that has to be a big twist somewhere, right?
Well, I mean, those would be pretty big twists if they can make them work out.
Well, JJ said this is the end of the third trilogy. Like this is it. Like this is. They're not. If there are any more Star Wars movies, it would not revolve around the Skywalker family. So.
Sure. I mean,
cap.
everyone's going to be.
They put in a cap on the Skywalkers. Right.
Sure. I mean, there's going to be another trilogy. There's going to be, a 10, 11, 12 at some point in the future.
Not anytime soon. They said that they actually, Disney said that after episode 9, there are not going to be any more Star Wars movies for a while.
Mm-hmm. Sure. They want to kind of give the fans a break, because you can kind of get fatigue, right? We had Rogue One come out in between like 7 and 8, right? And then we had we had
a Star Wars movie like every year ever since.
I know. I mean, that's been their thing, right? All these little side stories and whatever else. So I'm about it, because I think they've all been like pretty good to great. But I can see where they're going with this, right? Let's go ahead and give the fans a rest. We don't want people to get burned out on the franchise, right?
But we had a little. So this is a little teaser trailer, right? And we got Billy D is back.
Oh, I've been waiting for Billy D for so long, right? I was pretty sure he was going to be in episode 8, and they didn't have an episode 8 whatsoever. I was not so sure he would be in episode 9, but they like popped him in the trailer,
I knew
He's
he
in
was
the
going to
pilot
be in
seat.
episode 8. I knew he was going to be in episode 8. I tell you why. This was like a soft reboot, right? Like of the Star Wars world. So they wanted to have a special cameo for each movie, right? So we got Han's back, we got Chewie back, we got Leia back in episode 7. And we saw a glimpse of Luke, spoilers, at the end of episode 7, but he wasn't really in episode 7.
No, he was just kind of like, oh, this is how episode 8's going to start off.
So we knew episode 8 was going to be all about Luke. So I didn't think we could fit Billy. We couldn't put Billy D. Williams in the episode.
Couldn't contain both superstars within a 2-hour time frame.
Well, because it was all about Luke, right? It was all about Luke. So
Right.
He had to be in episode 9. Like he had to be the last standoff to come off in episode 9. I'm just sad that we're not going to get all of the old cast
back together, right? Again. There's no big reunion scene, right? Yeah.
But Leia is going to be in episode 9. We see her.
Right, which is interesting because they said they weren't going to CG Carrie Fisher's character, right? I think maybe that was part of the estate saying that, and maybe they wanted to show reverence to be like, look, we're not going to do that to your character. Where they have done it to characters in the past, right? They did, I want to say it was Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue One, right? Because the character who played him, he died in the 90s or whatever, right? So he wasn't around, but he was a part of... He was a part of the whole like episode 4 with the Death Star and all that. Like he was a major part of that movie. And Rogue One is basically between 3 and 4 when they get the Death Star plan. So, they definitely have the technology to do it. But
so Carrie Fisher is hugging Daisy Ridley, which she plays Rey. But you never see them. You don't see them like they're in one scene. It looks like a cut.
It's not a side shot. It's like from over the shoulder, maybe. Yeah.
From the back. No, you see him from the back. So you see Leia hugging Rey, and you see Rey. I don't think that's Carrie Fisher she's hugging. I think that's maybe like a double.
Interesting.
Where it looks like Leia from the back.
Sure.
And they probably use some cut. They probably use some cut footage and CGI'd Rey hugging Carrie Fisher.
Maybe, right? Yeah, because they didn't say that they wouldn't CGI other characters if necessary. This would be if it's crucial to the plot in some way, which it seems like it is, it'd be kind of real interesting to see how much Carrie Fisher is in, how much Leia is in the new movie, right? I assume maybe a little bit in the beginning, and then that's it.
I don't even know if she actually started shooting. Like, did she die before they started shooting the episode?
I thought they had some footage, but maybe not. I mean, it's real kind of speculative. So they may have tried to reuse footage from episode 8, and kind of splice that in a way. I don't know. I mean, Disney certainly knows how to make that stuff work, right?
I'm excited for it. I mean, I have so many questions, and we can sit here all day and talk about that trailer. But all right, so when episode 9 does come out, it's revealed, and it actually comes out. It's gonna go bananas. It's coming out in December, I think.
Yeah, I believe it's this year. Yeah.
Once that drops, and then a few months later, it gets old. It's a good chance it's going to be on Disney's streaming service, which was announced, Disney Plus. Which I mean,
we knew it was coming.
We knew it was coming. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of the name Disney Plus. They could have named it something a little bit more pizzazz. Personally, I'm nitpicking. Whatever, Disney Plus, it's okay.
Well, would you want them to call it Stadia? It's pretty Disney, accurate to me.
Disney Stadia.
Yeah, or Dadia or something, or
Dadia.
I don't know. World of Wonder, World of Magic. Who knows?
Dadia. Well, you know what? What's a Netflix? Come on. What's a Netflix?
It's flicks on the net. That's exactly what it is. A flick is like a movie flick, and the net is the internet.
And when I call it Flixnet.
Flixnet does not sound as good as Netflix. Let me tell you,
it's flicks on the net. You said it was flicks on the net.
I'm just breaking it down for you. So this is another major player when this ends up coming out, going up against Netflix, Amazon service, right? Hulu, funny enough, which
they own.
They have like a majority stake in it. They're like 60% shareholder, I think. So,
which they purchased from Fox.
They did, yeah. Well,
but so it's coming out November 12th this year. It'll be $6.99 a month, or you could pay $70 for the year. It'll have a bunch of Disney movies. You'll get a bunch of old Disney movies. Get the Marvel movies. It'll have Disney, Marvel. I think they did say, Pixar, all the Pixar movies.
Well, sure, Pixar is under the Disney umbrella, because they own them as a company. There is going to be some original content on there, which is good. The Star Wars movies and National Geographic stuff, which is kind of sure, which is probably the least appetizing, I think, for a lot of people. But yeah,
come on, you don't want to see two elephants going at it. A hippo and a lion
going at it? No, I'm good then. I'm not about two elephants doing it.
Get your mind out of the gutter. I meant fighting. They're fighting. They're going at it. They're fighting.
I'm good with the bum fights in the wild. I'm good. Yeah, I'm not saying nature shows are bad or not interesting, but I can see nature content anywhere, right? I can just like go on YouTube and find 4K nature videos, and I'm good. Watch that for hours on end for the low price of nothing.
But they like you were saying, they are going to have original content and original Star Wars content and Marvel content, because they're going to have the Mandalorian, right? It's going to be an original Star Wars series,
right?
It's going to be sort of low budget too. It's not going to have a high budget. It's going to be low budget. It's going to focus in on one specific story. It's not going to go big picture.
Sure, right, sure. It looks like they're going to do a Falcon and Winter Soldier movie, starring the characters from the MCU.
Show, TV show.
Oh, TV show, right. Yeah, starring the characters from the MCU. So Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan will be reprising those roles. So it will be in that universe.
They're going to have a Loki. They're going to have a Loki series as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
that was always rumored, and there's going to be a series with Hawkeye as well. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to pay for it. I'm getting it off the back, and I'm going to get the yearly subscription.
Are you?
I will do it. You know why? Because when they add more stuff, when they add more movies, all the Fox content that they own, and when the MCU Netflix series TV shows eventually come to Disney Plus, and they're back for the next new content, new seasons, and they say, hey, now it's going to be $100, but guess what? I already paid for the year, so I get to
You want to get into that introductory rate.
I want to get on that introductory rate. Damn right I do.
That's a smart move. I think I'll be more interested once the original content starts coming out, right? As much as I love Iron Man and all those MCU movies, and it'd certainly be great just to have them like a la carte. Here you go, boom. I've seen them already.
Just like Hulu, they're gonna. I guarantee you, at some point, they're gonna add live television, where you get ESPN, you get ABC, all the ABC stuff.
Well, then they're basically direct competing with Hulu, right? Because they're kind of getting in on some of that. Like, I think they have to combine those networks together at some point.
Well, I don't think they can combine Hulu because they don't own it flat out. They only own 60% stake, right? So either they sell it. I don't know if they can. I don't know if the other stakeholders
would want them to combine that stuff together, right?
Well, want them to combine it, or maybe. Well, first of all, I don't think Disney would want to combine it because I don't think they would want to share the revenue with the other guys.
Well, maybe they buy them outright. Maybe they just be like, because like Disney is Disney. Disney's got money, and they go, look, we'll buy out your 40% share, over however many companies, you ink that, you like give us that, and then we own it, and then we'll make it into one network.
Well, as a side note, Disney has a lot of money, right? Because they own Star Wars, they own Marvel, they have their own portfolio of movies,
right?
And stuff.
They got a huge, huge theme parks across the world.
They own Fox.
Yep.
But they still don't have enough. They still don't have enough money. They're not competing with Apple. Apple has way more money than them. Apple. There were rumors that Apple could buy Disney like last year.
Really? I don't know about I don't know about that one. Maybe.
Just think about it. There were rumors of Apple buying Disney just to get into the streaming service business.
Right.
Or just buying Disney flat out.
Right. Well, I guess
that would be bananas.
I guess they may have tried that and then realized that wasn't going to work. So they're like, we're going to do our own thing with original content.
No, I don't think they tried it. I think just like when we had that hoopla about Sony buying out Take Two.
Right.
I think it was more of like analysts.
Somebody took the wrong info, right? And ran with it.
I think it could have been someone's thoughts about, hey, Apple should just buy Disney. They have boatloads of money more than Disney that they could buy Disney.
I wonder what the difference is in kind of overall profit and money.
We're talking billions and trillions, right?
yeah. We're talking money that's way more than we can imagine, way more than we can ever accrue.
Because if we can imagine it, then I would have a little Samson.
Yeah, you would have many little Samsons.
I would save all the little Samsons out there.
Yeah. Sounds like you're a dog rescue.
All right, so we talked about a good movie. Let's talk about a movie that may not be so. Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie.
Yeah.
Definite, the deafening silence.
We talked about it before. We've seen the teaser poster. We've seen some of the art assets about how
leaked.
Sure. I mean, sure, but I mean, they're out there. They're out there. We have seen the casting for the lead character of Sonic and Dr. Eggman, played by Jim Carrey and Ben Schwartz, respectively. And apparently Carrey's been speaking out about the movie a little bit, right?
Well, he said Jim Carrey said that the movie will have a little edge to it. I don't know what that means.
Well, Sonic's always had Sonic speed. He's always been the cool character, right?
How can the Sonic movie have edge? What is it? Is it like Sonic meets Showgirls or something? I mean, what? How edgy can it? How edgy can it be? There
are different kinds of edge. It could take a little bit of a darker tone, right? Maybe the stakes are a little bit higher than just saving your animal friends, right?
Oh God, this is gonna be like a DCU.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's certainly good to be cautious about this, right? I mean, we're both going to go see it, so there's no bones about that. No matter how bad it is, we're both going to go see it.
Okay, wait. So let's speak for yourself. The more I hear about this, the more.
Oh, come on! You like the Super Mario Brothers movie?
I was 10.
Yeah, and you still like it to this day, though.
I was 10.
You were 10, I know. So was I.
No, you were 20. I have nostalgia.
I still haven't seen that movie, by the way.
I have nostalgia for it.
Uh-huh.
I have nostalgia for it. I'm sorry.
All right. Look, I'm going to go see it. All right. If you want to come see it with me, I will get a ticket.
All right. Dave, you get any good pickups this week? Because I'm going to tell you right off the back, I have 0 pickups. And that's because I've been sick.
Yeah. I got a couple of pickups. It hasn't been a crazy week. It wasn't as crazy as last week. Last Sunday was a treasure trove of pickups for sure. There is some stuff coming in the pipe, but I don't have it just yet. So a couple of PS3 games to go along with my newfound PS3 Slim. Can actually play PS3 games. Hopefully it works. But I got Virtua Tennis 3 from Sega. It's a good tennis game, and Aquapazza, the fighting game. Which is actually a bit of a hidden gem and quite good.
Really? I think I have that. No, I have that.
It's like an anime fighting game. I think it's based off some properties, if I'm not mistaken. There's like 13 fighters in the game, but the mechanics are real good. Fighting aficionados, fighting fans do enjoy the game. The mechanics are pretty solid, so it's a fun game. I think it's the only one in that series, and didn't make any sequels as far as I know. But yeah, so
okay. So, Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail, what have you been playing?
My favorite part of the show, Dan. Because, especially this week, because I can tell you I am still playing Persona 5. I had put down Persona 5 so we get on the mics and talk about the fact that I'm still playing Persona 5.
You were really trying to beat this game.
I mean, Dan, come on. I know we joke about being grown man gamers and not having time and this and that, but I put a lot of time into this game, and I want to see it through, right? I'm way too invested at this point, so
okay, I'm
making that happen. So Persona 5 on the PS4, not the PS3 version, funny enough. I don't think some people realize that it came out on both systems.
Wait, it came out on both systems?
Yeah, it came out on both systems.
No way. No,
yeah.
Seriously?
You can get it for PS3. So. Yep.
So I gotta pick that up.
Well, there you go. Playing Enter the Gungeon on the Switch on the go, right? Because they had the new DLC that came out, so a bunch of new content there. And then I've been playing Dicey Dungeons. We talked about it on the PAX roundup episode for 2019, and I was kind of over the moon about this game. It's the same guy. It's Terry Cavanaugh who did VVVVV 6 Vs,
yes,
right? It's a fantastic game where you play as a dice block with one of 6 different archetype characters, right? And you run through randomly generated dungeons, having dice battles. It's really cool. So I've been going nuts on that game. But how about you? I mean, I know you've been sick, but I feel like you've still managed to play some games in your sickness.
I'm almost done with Yoshi's Crafted World.
Mm-hmm.
In the Crafted World, you have to beat a bunch of worlds and then beat a boss stage, and you get a gem. And altogether, I think there are 6 gems or 5 gems you have to get. So I am 1 gem away from probably the ultimate boss. So I'm almost done with that. I'm pretty much close to beating that. I beat Kid Icarus on the Switch because it's about Switch Online. It's on the Nintendo Online service. However, full disclosure, I beat it because if you go to Nintendo Online, you have Kid Icarus SP, where it gives you all the hearts and it puts you at the last stage.
Right. Yeah. Super mode. Yeah.
Yeah. So under super mode, I beat the boss.
Oh my god, that's the easiest part of the game too.
And I've seen the ending of Kid Icarus. So.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Also on the Nintendo Online service is Punch Out, and I've played a little bit of Punch Out. I made it through 3 characters before I fell asleep. So I don't know if I'm going to try to beat Punch Out. I've never beaten Punch Out. I've made it to Mike Tyson.
Tyson's tough, man.
I've made it to Tyson and just couldn't figure out the algorithm, so I probably have to find see a walkthrough online to see if I can get the algorithm to beat it. I have it on the Wii U. I bought it on the Wii U, digitally, and I'm literally at Tyson, and I think Tyson's beaten me like 30 times. So I have not figured out how to beat Tyson.
He's tough, man. He's tough. You gotta for the first 2 minutes.
No, I'm lying. I am going crazy. I am lying. It is not Tyson. It's what's his name? Because they couldn't get to Tyson like after Tyson with the
Mr. Dream.
Mr. Dream. Yes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he fights just like Tyson, though.
He fights just like Tyson.
Yeah, they just have a head swap on him. So
I am at Mr. Dream on the Wii version.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing some Jump Force. I got back into it.
PS4.
Yeah. Jump Force. I've been trying to train up the character. Using Goku too. Also using Goku, and I want to see how far I can get in the game before it loses my interest. I gotta say, just like the Xenoverse world, I don't like the hub world. It's a fighting game. Just make me fight. I don't like this whole hub world thing where you have to run around and you're running around with other people and that you can talk to. I guess that's the social part of the game.
Sure. You just want the meat and potatoes.
Just say, hey, look, do you want to continue doing the story? Do you want to play online? Don't give me this hub world, which is confusing. Because honestly, after you finish your tutorial, you can get lost in this hub world and you don't know what to do.
Can't you just do like versus matches against the computer?
Well, no. You literally, at least in Jump Force, after the tutorial, they bring you to the hub world, and then you have to seek out the 3 different teams because you have 3 teams you can pair with, and you have to find them on opposite sides of the map, which is in this hub world. And I got lost, and I had no idea where I was going. And I was like, I see the little question mark here. I don't know how to get there.
Right.
And it was super confusing. I almost gave up, and I was like, no, I'm going to find this. So it's just, I think it's just weird that they have a little hub world. I'm sorry. And lastly, I dusted off the GameCube, and I've been, for the first time, playing Super Mario Sunshine.
Wow. So
I've never played Super Mario Sunshine. I have no idea what I had before I popped in. I had no idea what the game was about.
Really? Oh man, you're in for a treat. How do you like it so far? It's good. It's good, right?
It's different.
It's
different. It's different with the flood. I think that's what it's called. The backpack.
Yep. You're a little basically your water hose.
I'm a water hose. It's definitely different. It's definitely different. Mario and Peach are on vacation. It was, and they keep calling me Master Mario. So I don't. That sounds a little weird. But this was 2002.
2002. Right? That's right. Yeah, you're after the system
Mario
launch.
64. Yep. Yeah. This is the next Mario game after Mario 64. It's different. I got to say, it's different. It's that's all I can really say. It's different.
But it's good though, right?
It's okay.
It's okay. Wow.
Yeah, first of all, this wasn't that well received. At least people don't talk about it in high regard. Everyone says after Mario, it's Mario 64, and everyone just jumps straight to Galaxy. Right? Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. People just ignore Sunshine because of the weird mechanic with the flood.
It's not. It's great, man. It's solid.
I think it's okay. It's just it's different. I'm not in the Mushroom Kingdom. I'm in this weird island world that is covered in darkness, and I have to use the hose to cover up the paint at this point the villain is still unknown to me. Is it me? Is it a paint version of me? Why is the paint version of me here? The silver version of Mario? How did he get here? Is Bowser not in the game? I have so many questions. I'm just glad it has a good save system. Right? Because I talked about playing old games.
It definitely has a modern save system, so you don't have to worry about that. Basically every time you get a shine, right, which is what they call the stars in that.
Or you could just hit start and save.
Or you could just hit start and save where you're at. I think you get kicked back to like the hub world, but it'll save whatever progress you've made in the game so far. Yeah.
All right. I've only played 2 hours ish of it. So it's okay. It's okay. It's different. I will say that it is different.
By the end of the game, I want to hear what your thoughts are.
Before we go to break, we brought this segment back last episode, our indie game spotlight. I really wanted to talk about this game. It didn't make our list of in our PAX episode, but what the golf? Question mark. I am not asking a question. That is the actual name of the game.
What the golf?
Made by what the golf? Made by Triban.
Mm-hmm.
If you like sort of like golf games, it's a goofy, weird golf game where just like Golf Story, right? Whereas that's like a golf RPG, and sort of the mechanics of Golf Story, where you're trying to get into the hole, you hit the ball into the hole. You're not really hitting the ball into the hole; you're hitting yourself into the hole. Mm-hmm. So you sort of gotta aim it right in the direction of the hole, and they have like little barriers that you have to go through, and you can swing and hit yourself there. You can, if you're a person, you can swing and hit yourself there. If you are a house or if you're an animal, that's the goofy part of it, because you are swinging to hit anything into the general vicinity of the hole. Obviously, a house is not going to fall into a little hole. At least the demo I played at PAX,
right?
But you have to get to the hole, and if you overshoot, you will fall. So it's sort of like you're on a high platform, and you don't want to. If you overshoot, you will fall off the platform, and then you'll start you back at the beginning. Yeah. At least the demo I played. So
I'm looking at something right now where you're a soccer ball, and there's all these kids like trying to play soccer with you, but you're the ball, not the kids. You're trying to get away from the kids to get to the hole, which is just wild. Yeah.
It's super crazy. Right now, well, it's not out yet. You can put it on your Steam wish list for PC. It'll they want to come out on mobile, both iOS and Google Play Store this year. When I did talk to them, they said they want to put it on consoles, but they're just focused on the PC and mobile launch at some point this year. So go check it out if you like sort of weird golf games. I could see this being on a Switch at some point next year, right? If everything goes well this year.
Yeah, so, I mean, it'd be perfect on the Switch, right?
I think this would be a perfect game on the Switch. Mm-hmm. So, and it'll be released on limited run in 2021. I mean, I'd be like, hey, I played that game, and I talked about that game at PAX 2019. So, all right, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we get into the top 10 gaming news of last week. And we're back. All right, let's get into the top 10 gaming news of last week. Let's talk about Microsoft. So next week we'll talk about Inside Xbox. That's coming out, I think, Tuesday. Well, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, it should be out today. But, so Stadia came out. Google announced Google announced Stadia.
They had a big press conference at GDC and all that. Some people had some hands-on playtime with it, right? Not glowing reviews. They said there were some issues,
but you know what? I haven't heard any statements from anybody from Sony or Nintendo regarding the Stadia. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not. Maybe they've commented on it. I haven't seen it. But one Microsoft executive, Chief Marketing Officer Mark Nicholas, talked about Stadia. And he's been on record saying they have the infrastructure, but they lack the content necessary to flourish in the industry.
I mean, at the moment, I think that statement is 100% true.
That's true. Right? Well, if Stadia is coming out in 2019, that's 1,000% true.
Well, what they're trying to do is bridge those partnerships and get the exclusives that the Epic Game Store is trying to do. Right? They have, as far as we know, they're timed exclusives for certain games. Right? You can only get this game on this platform for a couple of games, and then other games will be, you can only get this game on this platform for a limited amount of time, and then it'll be open on Steam and wherever else. So,
but that's different in the PC world. That's the PC console wars, right? Right now, I don't think that will happen with Google Stadia, right? Like if you're Ubisoft, as I like it. You're not going to put something out just on Stadia and not on the Xbox Prime.
Well, if they
PS5.
give you enough money, I mean,
I don't know how much money there would be. There would be so much uproar. Maybe DLC.
I mean, isn't it the same thing as like Spider-Man coming specifically out on PlayStation, right?
Well, Sony sort of owns the movie rights to Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, sure, they have that too, but I mean, they could, since they own the movie rights, they could also put the game out on Xbox or put it out on PC, maybe like PC over Xbox.
It's a first party. It's a first party studio. Well, no, I guess Sucker Punch isn't first party studio, but that's sort of a first party IP.
Sure, right. Sony's producing it, so it's technically second party. It's technically second party, right? Somebody's making a game for Sony, just like how Retro Studios made Metroid Prime for Nintendo, right?
It's a second party studio making a first party IP.
Yeah. I mean, Sony's the one who's like putting it out there, sure, but they could put that game on PC if they want it.
I think the argument is more of Tomb Raider, where it came out first.
Well, there's, there's that too. There's that too. We have precedent for
on
this.
The Xbox One.
We do have precedent for this, right? And SquareSoft didn't just do that. SquareSoft was paid a handsome sum of money to say, make the DLC or make the game exclusive on our platform for a limited amount of time. And they're like, okay, as long as somebody's getting paid, it's all good.
And proven it hurt them. It proven to hurt them. And I don't think any major studio do that. I gotta be honest. Not with PS5 and the Xbox Prime and the Switch Pro.
Well, they could do what Microsoft did and buy up a bunch of studios, right? Because that's the only way they're going to win.
Well, I give you that. If they buy a studio, that's different.
But I mean, that's the only way that Stadia is going to win is by the exclusive content, right? Because Microsoft is racing to get the streaming thing out there across the board, right? Sony, obviously, with their PlayStation Now, is trying to get that out across the board, right? So everyone's like racing, right?
Nintendo is working on something, well, but I don't think. Well, they also announced their own first party studio.
Well, there you go. That's what I mean. Like that's exclusive content, right?
Which is not going to be ready. I mean, they just announced it. Like a month ago. So they're going to have games. They're going to have exclusive games ready for the platform. That's like part of the problem, right? So if the tech is good and 100%, that will bring some people to the yard to say, all right, I'll play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It brings all the boys to the yard.
It brings all the boys. Yeah, there you go. Brings all the boys to the proverbial yard.
It brings all the devs to the yard.
It brings all the devs to the yard, right? Because
my game is better than yours.
Right. Well, exactly. My game plays better than yours, right? If you can get the same experience as a disc version game downloaded on your PS4 or Xbox, you can have it streaming for a reasonable price online. Like that would be very appealing to to the average gamer, right? But we don't know if the tech's there. We definitely know that the exclusive content isn't there, so. They have to at least have good tech, I think. If they have good tech, that's a good start, and then the exclusivity will come.
They're starting with the tech.
Mm-hmm.
The exclusivity is obviously going to have to come later because they're not going to have any exclusive games to the platform. Exclusive big games to the platform this year. I can't see it this year.
Right.
When did Halo 1 was a launch title, right?
Halo 1? Yeah, because Bungie, Microsoft bought Bungie and said, take your game, turn it into a single player experience with all the multiplayer stuff, and it's going to be a launch title. All right.
I know, but see how that worked, where the Xbox was coming and they at the onset had a launch title that was exclusive to their console, their platform.
Yeah.
That was going to be bananas.
Yeah, it was the only thing that saved them, I think. Early on, right?
Early on, and then they had the exclusive Sega games because Xbox was essentially the Dreamcast 2.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like out the gate, like Halo was really the only we have this great game. Like Halo
gave you a reason to buy the Xbox.
Right? Exactly.
what's the reason to, jump into Stadia?
Well,
I don't have a reason. It's the
it's
gimmick.
a little different. It's a little different because Stadia is primarily a streaming platform, not a new console. So it's basically just taking
the console is their servers.
Right. I mean, it's basically taking the PC out of your apartment, or taking all the burden out of your apartment or house or whatever, and putting it over the wire, right?
Yeah.
So Google's claiming we'll take care of all that for you.
Well, let's see when they actually launch this thing, if they're having exclusive games.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, this is the big question, will they have like battle royale games on here? So will Fortnite be on here? Will PUBG be on here?
Well, I can tell you this, Fortnite won't be on there because Epic owns it. They're not going to let that happen.
Epic may, listen, it's on your phones. It's on your consoles. The Epic may say, hey, you know what? Screw it. Let's put it everywhere. Let's put it on Stadia.
I mean, maybe, but I feel like that would be a conflict of interest, right?
Hey, you never know. Yeah. Will PUBG be on there? And if PUBG is on there, I don't think they're going to be able to play it in Nepal. Sorry.
You're just making up countries now?
I'm just making up countries now. Well, you know what? You know what threw me off? Stadia. What the hell is Stadia? Like, out of all the names, I'm still...
It's a little weird.
It's
a little weird. Yeah, it sounds like a pharmaceutical drug.
It definitely sounds like a pharmaceutical drug.
Yeah. So this is
Stadia being produced in Nepal.
Right. So this is some crazy news about PUBG in Nepal, right? So
it's been banned.
Yeah. There's been a national decree, right?
First, when I first heard this story, I was like, okay, that's great. They're playing PUBG and not Fortnite. That was kind of weird.
Right. Like the Fortnite has been out for a long time. Almost like 2 years now, I think. Right? And how do they not know about Fortnite? All right. I'm assuming that PUBG has such a stronghold, right? And maybe just everyone's like crazy about PUBG and everyone's just been playing it. So it's
a more realistic type battle royale.
I mean, a little bit, sure. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have the cartoony visuals
Fortnite.
and all that,
Yeah.
So they're all crazy about it.
Well, parents and schools petitioned to get this banned because it had a negative effect. They're saying it had a negative effect on their children. Their complaints that the game is affecting their children and it's making them more aggressive and taking them away from their studies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you banned PUBG, but what about Call of Duty?
Right. You lop off the head and then two more grow, right? Two games are going to take its place, right? Fortnite is right there. Everyone's just going to move to Fortnite or Apex Legends, right? If you want your realistic gameplay and your battle royale stuff. I don't necessarily think that's the answer, right? You need to educate parents, I think, on kind of what these games are, and you need to educate your parents that like, hey, look, like you got to take a look at what your kids are doing, and you got to kind of monitor the stuff from a parental level, right? Because
putting parental restrictions on your kids.
Well, yeah, but the parents do that, right? Don't let it come from the government or the whatever else, right?
Come on.
The game isn't egregious by any means. It's just
come on. It's like, yeah, let's ban PUBG because it's making my kids aggressive because they're killing things and shooting things. But they can watch Terminator 2, where he's killing 1,000 humans and he has a machine gun.
Yeah,
right? That's not making my kids aggressive. Movies aren't.
No.
Or let's let them listen to some gangsta music.
Yeah, that's not it either.
90s.
That's not it either.
No,
as long as I mean, as long as you put that in context, you tell the kids, hey, look, this is a fantasy world, and this is whatever. This isn't real, right? Obviously, you can't pick up a gun and go running outside. Like, I think kids are smart enough to get that, right? Little bit of PUBG and Fortnite never hurt anybody. And if your kid's going crazy, like, parents just get on board. I mean, it's not that difficult. All right, parents got to parent.
Parents have to parent.
Parents got to parent.
Yes. All right, let's get into our lead story. We talked about the Star Wars celebration.
Mm-hmm.
We got Episode 9 trailer, but more importantly, we got to see the first trailer. We got more information, release date, and story elements of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
finally, we know what this game is going to be. And they made it a point. They made it a point to say this is a single player game with no multiplayer at all and no microtransactions.
This is a complete 180 from the EA of yesteryear, right? That's insane because EA owns the license, right? They have another couple years on it. They wanted to make good on the license and put out some quality
2022.
properties.
They have until 2022.
Right. They own this license until 2022, right?
I think they either got the license in 2012 or 2013, so they have until 2022 or 2023.
Sure. So they have a little bit of time. They're trying to get the most out of it. This game does look great. Now remember last year when they had Star Wars, right? Was it even last year or the year before? The 2018 or 2017 that Battlefront 2 came out?
Well, Battlefront 2 came out in 2017.
Okay, so this is a complete 180 of the EA from 2017, right? Where they were like, here's this game. It's going to have a single-player component, in quotations. It's a very weak single-player component. And multiplayer with microtransactions. Microtransactions in big quotations, because the microtransactions were way super egregious. And when the fans took them to task, EA came back with the inappropriate response, and they just got burned. And they lost a hell of a ton of money off it, right? So it's interesting. Like now you have this single player game with no multiplayer, which means no microtransactions, right? Because there's no what are you gonna go ahead and monetize, right? It looks fantastic.
They can still monetize. Maybe
that's a bad
apparel?
road.
Apparel?
Nobody wants to pay for gold horse armor.
Skins?
Nobody wants to pay for skins. Who's gonna see them? Only you.
I want to play as Kylo Ren.
I mean, sure. Make it as an unlockable after you beat the game. I'd be down with that too, but
well, the story takes place. Well, first of all, it's a release date of November 15th, 2019. It's coming to PC and consoles. Mm-hmm. The story takes place after Order
66.
666. You know, it's essentially the dark period where it's between episode 3 and 4. Mm-hmm. You play as a young Jedi, Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis.
Right? He survived the Order 66.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that was the mass execution of all the Jedis, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of made it out alive, which is kind of interesting. And it looks like he ends up turning to the dark side, right? Is that kind of how the trailer made it out to be, right?
No, he's not. No, he's not a dark side. He's undercover. He's stuck undercover.
Okay.
And it seems that he's trying to keep a low profile and not use the Force.
Well, sure. As soon as he does, he gets ousted, right?
Well, that's exactly what happens. It looks like he used the Force to save a friend, or save a coworker, save someone. Mm-hmm. He's being forced to be a hero. No pun intended. He's using the Force because he's forced to be a hero, and they see this and they say, "Whoa, that's a Jedi right there!" And they got to go after him, and that's when the story, theoretically, the story of the gameplay starts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, the story seems interesting. I'm about it. It's a single player. You know, I love my single player games.
I know.
This now jumps up. This jumps up to the top of the list of games I need to get this year in 2019. Mm-hmm. This holiday is going to be pretty interesting because what else? I mean, this seems to be a last hurrah for this gen, right? What else is coming out this year besides this? We got Gears 5, I believe.
I think it's going to come out this year, right? You know, we do know Halo's not this year, so yeah, Halo by all accounts is probably going to be a next gen launch title.
And we don't know anything about the Sony the big three: Last of Us Part 2. What's the other game?
Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. As well as Death Stranding.
And Death Stranding.
The other big three out of the four.
Yeah.
Right?
I still think one of those three is coming out this year.
It has to. Otherwise Sony has nothing this year. Right?
I would say
they got to put something out.
Really? Days Gone is coming out. Yeah, I would say Ghost of Tsushima.
My money's on Days Gone.
Days Gone is coming out in 2 weeks.
I mean, sorry, not Days Gone. Last of Us.
You really think The Last of Us Part 2 is coming? I think
my money's on The Last of Us.
It's gonna be a launch title.
Why not?
It's gonna be a launch title.
Something's got to come
launch
out.
title.
If Ghost of Tsushima doesn't come out, then it has to be The Last of Us, right? We had. Did you see all that gameplay we had like 2 years ago at the Sony experience? They had a whole scene play out.
Death Stranding is too much of an enigma to be their big launch title. I think it has to be The Last of Us Part 2. So I think Ghost of Tsushima doesn't have the name recognition to be that launch title that launches with your next console, and Death Stranding is too much of an enigma. So I think it has to be The Last of Us Part 2 to go against, especially if both consoles are coming out the same year, to go against Halo Infinite for the next Xbox. That's going to be 50 teraflops. You got to have a big name game that's going to be a launch title that's ready to go.
That's fair.
So I say that's why I say The Last of Us Part 2 is going to be. It's going to come out on both gen. It's going to be this gen and next gen, but it's going to come out launch title PS5, Ghost of Tsushima, last hurrah for PS4 this year.
You heard it here first, folks.
Book it. All right. So we went from a game that's not going to have any microtransactions to a game that's slated to be nothing but microtransactions.
This hurts me.
If you believe the Kotaku article.
Oh, this hurts me deep to my core.
I'm about to say Dragon Ball. Dragon Age 4. Remember, I'm 80% okay. I'm still sick. Okay?
I understand. I'm not dogging you. You course corrected quite nicely.
So Dragon Age 4 is reportedly has changed course and is going to be all monetization, just like Anthem.
Oh, I don't know if the developers know, right? I don't know if all the fans know. Dragon Age is a single-player experience. Dragon Age has no multiplayer component. How are they going to monetize this?
Because they're going to make it online only. They're going to make it online only. It's an action RPG. I play Dragon Age Inquisition.
It's great.
I did. Dan Robinson, classic. I played Dragon Age Inquisition, and I loved it. I put hours into that game. Okay, back in 2014, I believe.
Yep.
It was game of the year for IGN,
and rightly so. I mean, that game was fantastic.
I went back.
It rated really well.
I went back and forth between Dragon Age Inquisition and Shadow of Mordor. Right, those were like the two big games of that year. I loved it. I can, if this is an online only game, I was waiting for Dragon Age 4. I was waiting for If this is an online only game, I'm out. I'm sorry. They got me.
I'm 100% with you. I'm 100% with you because probably what's going to happen is it will be an online thing. You'll be able to jump into other people's campaigns, right? You'll have like up to 4 people in a party and this and that. And then, you'll microtransaction. I mean, hopefully it's not the weapons and the armor and the whatever else, but I feel like it's going to have to be, right?
Well, okay. I'm so disappointed in this. EA, now come on. So I feel like they're throwing us a bone. They're letting Respawn do a single player game,
right?
They're doing it right. They're giving us what we want. That's what we want, and they're gonna turn Dragon Age into Anthem. I mean, you know what? This takes me back. This could be the reason why they canceled that Amy game, Star Wars game. Because they probably said, "Hey, we got Anthem coming out. That's gonna be a big new IP. That's gonna be our Fortnite." We got Star Wars Battlefront 2. That was a debacle. We got this single player game. We'll throw them a bone. We got Respawn doing a single player game because Titanfall didn't do as well as we expected. So we'll let Respawn do the single player game. Dragon Age, we want to make this an online thing only. We don't need this another single player game. Let's turn this into a multiplayer. See if we could take what's been done and turn that into another Star Wars multiplayer game. Let's let them forget about Star Wars Battlefront 2. And when it couldn't turn a single player game that Amy Henny, a single player, she's primarily worked on only single player games, stories.
Right.
They couldn't turn that into a multiplayer game. They canceled it because they're already giving us a single player game in the Respawn, the Jedi Fallen Order. I don't know. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed by the inconsistencies at EA.
I'm with
This
you,
was
Dan.
old.
I'm with you, Dan.
This was-
When we think they learned their lessons, here they go ahead and. I mean, now this is still a rumor, but if this is true, they haven't learned their lessons.
If this was old EA, I gotta tell you, if this was, and we talked about this. I think I said this on the show. If this was old EA from early 2000s, we would have had like 5 Star Wars games a year.
Uh-huh.
We would.
And they all would have been like good.
They would have been good, not great. But they would have been good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, but we are getting a Star Wars pinball game, but it's not made by EA. They probably look at that and say, that's okay. We don't care.
Oh boy.
We'll let that.
We're getting a physical pinball game?
No. It's actual pinball game for.
That's what I mean. A physical. Yeah. Like a stand up.
No, for Xbox One and PS4.
Oh, well, that's not actual pinball.
A virtual pinball game.
Yeah, it's a virtual pinball game. It's not a stand-up
virtual
pinball machine.
We're getting a virtual pinball game that's not made by EA. They
Yeah.
probably said, we don't care about this. But guess what? Everyone's excited about it. That's all I heard from
pinball's awesome.
Pinball game.
Yeah,
It's a virtual
pinball's great.
pinball game. It won't have any microtransaction to it.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be a part of that, like Pinball FX2, right? Because basically that's just a platform where you can build new pinball machines or pinball whatever, right? And they have ones for Guardian of the Galaxy. I think there's some DC ones, some Marvel ones, and whatnot. It's a pretty popular platform. I wonder if it's going to be on there, and then you can just pay like a couple bucks and download that table.
I don't know.
They're really good though, they're pretty solid for a digital pinball machine. Yeah.
So speaking of Respawn, Jason West was one of the co-founders of Respawn. He was big and instrumental in turning the Call of Duty series into what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
He instrumental in working on Titanfall, but he actually retired back in 2013, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He retired because he had some family issues. But he's back. He's out of retirement. But he's not with Respawn. He's now joined Epic Games.
See, to go on our conversation earlier, this is how Google Stadia does it. They poach all the good developers, bring them into the fold, and they have them make exclusive content, right?
Now, what this means, what role, we don't know.
Mm-hmm. I assume he's going to head up a new game and head up a new thing exclusive to the Epic Game Store, at least on the PC, right?
Yeah, I would assume so, and I would think maybe it would be or could he be looking to make Fortnite better?
I mean, that's also true too. He could come on as like kind of a lead, or like a head.
Maybe a consultant, just to
I mean, sure. There's a lot of things. My money's on my money's on brand new game.
A new game. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think Fortnite has any issues that it needs to overcome. I think they're doing a pretty good job, like putting out new content and tweaking the battlefield and the gameplay mechanics and all that. And
now they have stiff competition, right? They've always been up against PUBG. They have Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which is doing well, and whatever the next Call of Duty game that will have their multiplayer component. And they have Apex Legends that they have to go against. So,
which I think is their biggest competitor right now.
I think there is the biggest competitor right now. So we'll see we'll see as time goes on what his involvement with Epic will be. But speaking of Apex Legends, Apex Legends is just a beast. I have not played it yet. I will give it the once over, the good old college one. Well, maybe not the good old college try. I'll give it the old high school try. Well, I'll try it once at least. But I want to play it on the Switch. That's where I want to. I played Fortnite on the Switch. If PUBG was on the Switch, I would have played it. But I played it because it was at the time it was exclusive to the Xbox. I even had the cardboard. I even have the sort of the cardboard that has the game code in it. Just so it looks pretty on the shelf. I wish there was a game in it. I do have Fortnite, the physical edition for the Xbox, because out of all the boxes, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch, only the Xbox One had a disc. I would love to play. Don't get me started with that. I would love to play Apex Legends on a Nintendo Switch, but Respawn has recently said that they have no plans. Well, if it was coming to the Switch, we would have told you. Is what they said. They have no plans on putting it to the Switch right now. And now I can understand why, right? Because it was a small team that worked on. I don't know how big Respawn is. I can't imagine they're crazy big. They had a small team working on Apex Legends. EA had no expectations for this game.
Right.
And because in secret, they were all hands on deck for the single player Jedi Fallen Order game.
Mm-hmm.
So that would make sense that they didn't have the resources to port a small game they had no expectations for on the Switch. But
right.
if I'm going to play it, I would want to play it on the
Switch. Sure. I think they could certainly do it. I don't think the power is the issue. I think you're right about the resources, though, right? It is a different architecture and whatnot, so you do have to port that game over, but I don't think you'd have to do too much work in terms of performance settings to get it to play properly, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, hopefully they do sometime in the future. The game is still pretty fresh. It's only like maybe a month, 2 months old at most, right? So,
come on, I guarantee you, 2020, E3 2020.
E3 2020?
E3 2020 when Apex Legends is going to introduce mechs, right? They're gonna have the Titan. They're really gonna have the Titanfall universe. They're really gonna be in the Titanfall universe when they introduce mechs. And it's gonna be, and now it's on the Switch Pro,
right?
Apex Legends with mechs,
right.
Switch Pro, holiday
That'd
2020.
That'd be fantastic.
That'd be fantastic. But if you want to talk about a game you can play right now that's on the Switch, that's Super Smash Brothers. I still haven't gone back to this game. I've unlocked all the characters I can unlock. I've maybe missed one or two, with the exception of one or two. I just haven't gone back to it. I'm waiting for Joker. I bought the DLC, so I have, when all 5 characters, secret characters hit, or 4, I will have them automatically, and I will go back and play. But a recent commercial, I guess people are saying the commercial leaked something that wasn't announced that we don't have, and that's Stage Builder.
Right. Stage Builder that we had in Smash Brothers 4. Right. They didn't have it in Ultimate for, whatever reason. Probably, development time and whatever else.
They got like every character.
Yeah, right? Is that not enough, people? Is that not enough? So, very interesting.
The kid is grabbing the controller off the TV stand, and you can see in the little corner, the Stage Builder icon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this was a leak. I think this was strategically placed because, come on, this commercial has to go through approvals, right? Like, it has to go through the proper channels to be approved.
Sure.
So I'm sure they looked at every inch of this and said, oh, well, that we haven't announced that mode yet, but you know what? Let's just keep it in there. You know why?
Let's keep it a little secret thing because fans are gonna pick apart this commercial and they're gonna kind of figure it out, right?
What? We're talking about Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Super Smash Brothers right now.
Yeah.
Right? So it kind of makes sense that they would have it on here. I think they strategically put it on there because you're not going to have a direct just for the Stage Builder mode.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the next direct, we're rumored to have a direct in April. I think we're definitely going to have a direct in April because we're going to announce Joker from Persona 5 that's going to be in Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when you say, hey, you have Joker, you have the Persona music, you have the Persona stage,
and new Stage Builder
where you can mix and match Persona and Sonic stages together, or Persona and Bayonetta stage, right? So I think they strategically put it there.
It's very clearly, you can very clearly see it. Although it is in the background, it is slightly blurred, but I mean, it is most definitely a Stage Builder thing, right? It's like a 2-second little blip or a 1-second blip, but it's certainly there, It's certainly there. It looks like, I haven't played Smash in a while, but it does look like the home screen was slightly reworked in this latest update. Maybe not because I haven't actually played it in a while, but you do see in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little Stage Builder thing, so. Not surprising, Why not bring back an awesome feature,
Especially now that we know that we're going to get Super Mario Maker 2 this year, right? A game that I'm not crazy, psyched for because I'm not going to make any levels. I made 3-4 levels, which people played and said it was okay. Sure. I didn't, mine were like more realistic levels. I didn't want to get too challenging.
Right.
I just want to play developer level.
Mm-hmm. Right. The ones from the pros. Sure.
Yeah, the one from the pros. So I talked about having the PUBG cardboard box on on the shelf, and it looks nice, but there's nothing in there but a code which I've already used.
Mm-hmm.
They had the same thing with Cuphead. They had the not the cardboard box, but they had a full Xbox box for Cuphead that just had the code in it, which you can't find anymore. Don't know if that's going to be worth anything at some point, because that's off the shelves. That's been off the shelves for about a year. I couldn't find one.
Mm-hmm.
But Cuphead is coming physical to the Switch and Xbox One. I don't know which one I'm going to get yet. That depends if Cuphead is going to be a downloadable content. Like, if it's going to be downloadable, where like only some of the games are going to come in a card, you have to download the rest, then I'm definitely going to get it on an Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfenstein Youngblood. Not even download. It's not even going to be where some of the game is on a cart and you can download the rest.
It's just all.
No, it's not going to be a cart.
Code.
It's just going to be a download code. What's the point of having the stupid? I'm furious. What's the point of having?
Because it looks nice in the shelf, Dan. That's it. It looks nice on the shelf. But you're right.
I'm getting this game for the PS4.
Sure.
I was going to get it for the Switch. Now I'm getting it for the PS4. It just doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
This is ridiculous. I'm getting it. I'm going to get it for the PlayStation 4.
I'm with you. Like, why? Because those games are going to come with the disc, all right?
Well, the 32-bit cartridges are still expensive. And
I was just going to say, because like you look at the price tag, it is not $59.99. It's $39.99.
It would probably have to be $59.99 for it to come in for the Switch tax. Remember, Switch tax.
Right, exactly, and then whatever the cost of the cartridges and whatnot, you'd have to bump that up a little bit. So, I guess that's why they're doing it, and then they want the recognition in the store, right? They want people to see, oh, hey, there's this new game that came out, right? Because it's free advertising, right?
Just make it downloadable. Just make it all digital on Switch then.
Well, yeah, but then you don't have the presence in Walmart. You don't have the presence in Target.
Make a sign. Come on.
To what? Go home and download this game right now.
Well, the download code just is here. Here's the download code you can have. Don't even put a box out. You can just buy the download code.
Yeah. So you want to have like an iTunes gift card for Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Yeah, if that's the case.
I mean, they could do that. Sure, they could do that.
You got the cards. You got the cards for Xbox Live and PlayStation Network.
Yeah, and they're all featured pretty prominently. Yeah, they could do that.
I've never bought one of those cards. I always just bought it from the system. I never bought one of those download cards.
Oh, I've done that before. Yeah, just because just seems to be easier sometimes, right? Because you can buy it without a credit card, right? And then you have basically $60 in credit for the online store. So before I had a readily available credit card, that was kind of you go in, you pay some cash, and then boom.
So yep, they've just ensured that I'm going to get this game on the PS4. And now, another reason. I mean, listen. Now that I have this in the PS4, I can finally change my PSN name.
Oh yeah, Dan, I have some.
It's out of beta.
Words of caution for you.
It's out of beta. It was in beta.
Yeah,
now it's official. You can change your name.
I still think it's still in beta. There is a ton of issues when trying to change your username, right? I implore everybody to not do it, no matter how bad your username is, because there's potential. There's potential for you to lose your save states. Right? They've confirmed
it's potential in certain games where you can lose.
Well,
you can lose.
They've confirmed a bunch of games that you will most likely lose your save data from. There could be more.
You can lose in-game currency, whether you paid for it or earned it. Loss of game progress. You can
right.
They actually have they've ID'd critical issue games where these games have critical issues where you can lose all three, and these games are games that I don't really care about. But if you care about them, God bless. That's Disc Jam, Just Dance 2017. You know how everybody loves to have their progress saved in Just Dance games.
Hey, man.
Just saying. Little Big Planet 3, which is the big game for me. I haven't even played Little Big Planet 3, so I wouldn't lose anything. MLB 14, 15, and 16, the show. Onrush, the Golf Club 2, and Worms. Those are the critical issue games.
I have a question, Dan. Do you know how many games you will lose progress and or in-game currency in if you try and change your name on Xbox One? I'm curious if you know how many.
1.
The answer is 0. The answer is 0 because Microsoft knew from the beginning that, hey, there may be a point in time where people want to change their names, and you know what? We can go ahead and monetize this. And I'm fine with the monetization because it is a huge process to build that into the network, to make sure that every instance of your recorded transactions or gameplay progress or whatever is carried over to the new name, right? You basically have to do a glorified find and replace, right? Wherever you see this ID, make it now this ID, and make sure that everything gets carried over, right?
That's true. That's true. And Microsoft is mostly a software company, so they did it right from the get-go. And, the PlayStation, which always has the sleekest hardware Sony in general has always had this hardware. No one, no one's ever accused them of having the best
but I mean that's why Xbox dominates in terms of the software, right? The online infrastructure is much better.
I think we said this like 20, 30 episodes ago. If we were gonna like be the ultimate game company, we would have Sony make the hardware, Xbox make the Xbox make the UI and the online infrastructure, and Sony and Nintendo
would make the
first party games.
Yeah, right. And everyone would do what they do best, right?
Give me a PS4 Pro looking Xbox One X with Mario in it.
Right. So this is the second time Sony has gotten into some like crazy hot water. It's bad, and I don't honestly think they can wholeheartedly recommend people to do this, even though it is an option now. But
if the first change is free, the second change is $10. Any other subsequent change is $10.
Right.
Unless you are a PlayStation Plus member, then it's half the price, $5.
Sure. And price notwithstanding, Microsoft does the same thing. I think it's like $8 to change it on Microsoft. Yeah.
Same thing.
So I get why they do that. They don't want people just willy-nilly going on there trying to change their name because it is a big process to do. It's something that shouldn't be taken lightly in terms of the tech behind it, right? But I mean, this is the last time Sony had some issues was with their password system, right? Because your username comes with a password. You have to log into all these things, right? Sony, in all their infinite wisdom, forgot to encode the passwords. So in their database was just plain text. There was a column for passwords, and all your passwords were just plain text. So anyone looking at that database table, right, could see, user, Fortnite champ 99x or whatever has the following password, right? So if anybody got that data, which they did, because there was a huge breach, maybe I don't know 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. All that information came out, and it kind of blew up in Sony's face. And they've obviously patched it since and all that, which is great. But there was a big change your passwords, make all that happen. So it's I'm not saying it's easy, but
So some games your old ID may remain visible,
right?
Right. So that's another issue where your new ID won't pop up, your old ID will, and those are where some of the big time games are, and where it's like Bloodborne, Call of Duty, Dark Souls 2 and 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, Killzone, Shadowfall, and just 2, Rock Band.
Yeah, so there's a handful of first party or
The Last of Us
titles.
The Last of Us, Titanfall 2, and
there's a handful. There's a large amount of titles.
Oh my god! Oh, and Wipeout Omega Collection, that's your game that you love so much.
I do.
So what about the games they didn't test?
Right, exactly. Like this is all the stuff that they know is a problem. There's probably a ton of other stuff, right?
But you know what's not on any of these lists?
I don't, Dan.
Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't seen Horizon Zero Dawn on any list. So if you change your name, Horizon Zero Dawn seems to be unaffected.
Well, it's a completely single player game. I don't know what would be affected besides your online saves, but
well, you know that it will still show your old ID.
Oh, I see.
Just like on Uncharted 4, mostly single player game.
Well, they have a multiplayer
component, yeah, but nobody really cared about that. Nobody really cared. No offense. I mean, I love Uncharted.
Everyone's you're playing it for the single player campaign.
Yeah, everyone. I mean, maybe Uncharted 2, I think, is when the multiplayer was really big, and then no one cared about 3 or 4. Yeah, right. I think it kind of went down. But let's talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. So I'm gonna butcher her name because I am terrible at names. Everybody knows her names. Gavankar, that's her name.
Janina Gavankar. Yeah.
Gavankar. Yeah.
Janina.
She was the lead character. Well, she did the voice and actually facial too. She looked just like the character looked just like her in the Star Wars Battlefront 2. All right, she was the main character, and I thought the story was awesome, and I liked her, and I loved her in it. She was also in Horizon Zero Dawn. She had a small role in Horizon Zero Dawn. Apparently,
she was in the DLC, I think, right?
Yeah, apparently she will be in Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Spoilers, they're in development.
And this character is still alive. So
the character is still alive. I have not beaten it. Actually, I think I want to start my save over yet again for the third time. And I think I want to beat this game in May. Like before my birthday. Like I'm gonna start May 1st. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I haven't don't quote me on this. Don't book it, but I think that's what I want to do. I think that's what I want to do.
All right.
But apparently she's saying that, the game is in development. She knows some secrets, and it's incredible. And she quoted by saying, "You're gonna die." Like this because it's so good. Whatever secrets that she knows.
That's fantastic.
She could just be hyping this up crazy, or we could Horizon Zero Dawn.
I mean, of course she's hyping it up, but it very well could be the next epic game. All right,
it could be. Now, I still think this is not. I think the Zero Dawn is the sort of the subtitle. I think it's Horizon, so I think it will be Horizon something else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Horizon. Whatever, Frozen Land. I don't know.
Horizon Uprising or something, maybe. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I think it'd be. I think Zero Dawn would be the sort of the subtitle. I think.
Yeah.
Just like Gears of War, right? They've dropped the of War. It's just Gears now.
It's just Gears
5.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely not surprising, but excellent news, right? We're all looking forward to see what comes out of E3, right? They'll probably have some announcement about it, I think. Something, maybe like a teaser
E3,
or something.
E3 2020, because they're not going to be at E3 2019.
Oh, it's true. That's true. Well,
and this game, the original game came out right before the Switch in 2017.
That's right, 2017. Yeah, I think February of 2017 this game dropped.
Yeah, so that means if they started development on the sequel a little bit afterward, 2017, it's about 2 years in. It's definitely not a game that's going to come out. I don't think it'll be a launch title because that makes if the PS5 launches in 2020. So this could be we could see a teaser in 2020 for the first real year of next gen, which is 2021. I could see that 2021 and 2022. No, it's Sony. They'll probably break it up and push it to make it whatever like whatever the difference is, whatever the gimmick is, what makes this game different than the original Horizon. So I'm looking forward to it.
Same.
I'm going to try to beat this game. Every time I try to play the game,
I still got to pick the game up, so I got a little more work than you to do.
Well, I have the original. I have the statue. I have the special edition. It comes with the statue. I have the steel case, and I brought the Game of the Year edition with all the DLC. I would say get the Game of the Year edition so you can play the DLC.
Of course. I think it's only like $20, honestly. So yeah, that about does it. That's episode 160 in the books. I just want to thank you guys for sticking with us and listening to the show and doing all the good stuff that you guys do online and on the social media. If you want to interact with us, and we know you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Please check out the Gaming Podcast Alliance. There is a lot of good content on there. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.